we'll move on to Real Madrid then, because it's crazy we've gone this far and haven't spoken about an upcoming game against the European champions. You're going to be at the game. You're going to be at the Man City game as well. Big week ahead of you. I mean, it's huge, sort of more maybe for prestige than Liverpool having to win it. Liverpool top of the table and pretty much guaranteed to at least be in the playoffs. You'd think a couple more wins definitely gets them into the top 8, which would be ideal. Obviously, fewer games to play. But I think it's the prestige of playing Real Madrid, isn't it? And the opportunity to maybe get a bit of revenge on Real Madrid, because I think I remember doing a pub quiz, I think it was just over 10 years ago. And the question was, who's got 100% record against Real Madrid in Europe? And I think the answers were Liverpool and Aberdeen. Aberdeen's is still intact, I think, but Liverpool's absolutely isn't anymore, because I think we played, what was it, 8 times, I think, in the last 10 years, 7 losses, 1 draw, including 2 Champions League final defeats. And they're coming to Anfield now, and Liverpool are flying. Real Madrid have improved, but still, you've seen, again, home defeats to Barcelona, home defeat to AC Milan. They can be got at. It's a big game for Liverpool, and even though it's not as crucial, it's probably not as crucial as the Southampton game in terms of points, is it? But it's going to be a great atmosphere welcoming Real Madrid to Anfield under the lights, and it feels like a big game that a victory would give them a huge boost in, and sort of again underline their credentials to be one of the England and Europe's best teams this season.
This is it. I mean, I keep hearing talk about, you should rotate and make changes. It doesn't really matter. But I can never really buy into that. I just think this is huge. I think the mental boost it could provide of finally getting one over on Real Madrid. I mean, what was it under Jurgen? I think faced them 6 times, 1 draw and 5 defeats, 2 of which were in Champions League finals. I mean, it's a monkey you need to get off your back at the end of the day. And I think like you say, Real Madrid are struggling a little bit this season, but I still think to beat them would really convince this team and this squad, much of whom, a few of these haven't been around for maybe the title charges or the winning the European Cup. So, the likes of Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, just tell them we are the real deal. This is, look at us. We are as good as we've shown so far this season. We are Champions League contenders. We're Premier League contenders. We're a massive side. So I think mentally, this is massive. And I also think there's a lot of value in getting to that kind of points tally that will get you through in the top 8 as quickly as possible. If you can get to a point where after 6 games, you've won 6 and you basically qualified, the last 2 games in the group stages of the Champions League are an utter irrelevance to you. So you can completely rotate. Then you can treat them almost as kind of League Cup sides that you can put out. So I think it's a huge opportunity. And I think, particularly it's at Anfield, coming up against a Real Madrid who are struggling a little bit this season, particularly had a couple of bad Champions League results. They've got an awful lot of injuries. Vinicius Jr. added to that now. I think it's a massive game. And I think, you can say, okay, rotate and maybe they get beat or get a draw against Real Madrid. I just think that kind of takes a little bit of the bounce away going into that game against Man City. Whereas if you win this game, and you play well and you get a good result there, and then you come into Manchester City, there's no travel involved. It's 2 games at Anfield back to back. You've got Wednesday to Sunday, so decent rest, that kind of rhythm that they're used to. You'd be absolutely flying into that City game, and against the City who are really wobbling at the moment as well and don't like playing at Anfield anyway. So for me, this is massive, and I don't think Arne Slot will approach it with the mindset of, I'm going to make 6 or 7 changes. I did no chance of that for me. I think it's huge to convince this squad that they can go on and achieve great things this season. So I'd like to see full strength Liverpool. I'd also like to see them beat them, of course.
Convince the squad, and maybe chief among them, convince Trent, because there's that subplot obviously underlying this game. We don't know just yet at the time of recording if he's going to be fit for the game. I don't think. Obviously missed the weekend. Will this game play any part, do you think, in his thinking? If Liverpool go and batter Real Madrid 4-0, is Trent then thinking, okay, Liverpool are far ahead of Real Madrid at the moment. We can challenge for the title. We can challenge for the Champions League. It's my boyhood club. Could that maybe turn the dial at this game, or is this just one game not going to have that much impact or any impact on Trent's thinking, do you think?
I think it can't hurt. I mean, if you start to see a Real Madrid that's maybe in a bit of decline, or is, you losing key men like, Modric is not, this is probably his final year, isn't it? They've lost Toni Kroos. They've kind of unbalanced themselves with the addition of Mbappe this season. You see a little bit of that, maybe a bit of kind of local media kind of turning against Bellingham a little bit this season as well, and him not being as valued as I think he should be. You see all that, and then his main concern as well, Trent, was, and he said this in the only interview he's really sort of spoken about his contract situation, is that his key concern is, what can I win? Is this going to be a Liverpool side that's challenging for trophies? And if so, then I want to stay. So, to beat Real Madrid and say that, show that there's been a bit of a power shift there, you're already in the middle of a title race that you're leading by 1,000,000 miles. I do think it can be helpful in terms of what that says and the messages that it communicates to Trent, because there's been all this change at Liverpool now, but they, the hierarchy there, Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will be saying, we've put this together now because we want to win. This is what it's all about, and we're showing you that we can win now and we can win in the future. So I do think it's significant in terms of that. Although I do think maybe too much is made of how much Trent's head's been turned by that. I'm still, as I always say, tending towards optimism on his contract. But as I say, I just don't think it can hurt at all if Liverpool can beat Real Madrid in that one. I mean, if they get 2 wins this week, then that, what a message that is to the players you've got and the players around Europe who Liverpool might want to sign in the coming windows, that this is a serious football team again.